Hello guys, welcome to my humble YouTube channel where I bring you fanfiction that will brighten your days. Before we start, a subscribe is greatly appreciated, and don't forget to leave a like and ring the bell icon so you won't miss exciting new fanfiction stories. Rimuru's Journey for His Beloved, Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest, by Sakura Arashi. Chapter 26. Other elders. After discussing what they knew, they were about to end their talk when suddenly, people arguing could be heard from the first floor. Actually, Rimuru, Hajime, Yu and Arifureta were talking at the second floor, while Shia and the Halia tribe were downstairs. After hearing the commotions, the four of them looked, then stood up at the same time. Downstairs, there were new people in the room. First was a big bear-like demi-human, then a tiger-like demi-human, a fox-like demi-human, a demi-human with wings growing out of their back, and a hairy dwarf-like demi-human. From the looks of it, they seemed to be elders as well. They were also glaring at the Halia tribe. The four then arrived at the first floor, where Hajime and Yu glared at the other elders, while Rimuru calmly looked at the situation. The bear-like demi-human who has noticed the four began to speak. Arifureta, you bastard. What's the meaning of this? Why are humans here? And the taboo child too? Explain yourself. Depending on your answer, I will strip you of your elder rank, the bear-like demi-human said as he desperately tried to restrain his anger. His reactions were totally normal. Humans, as expected, are the nemesis of the demi-humans. In their eyes, the elder Arifureta invited humans over as well as sheltered a taboo child. Not only the bear-like demi-human but all the other elders was staring at Arifureta. Even with all the stare, Arifureta ignored them while calmly explaining himself. I simply followed the traditions. As elders yourselves you should be able to understand, Arifureta said. The hell are you saying? Even after the founding of Fia Belgain, not once has that happened, the bear-like demi-human said. Therefore, this time is the first time. If you are an elder, then you have to follow the tradition. That's the law. We are the one who have the elder seat, so we must follow the law, Arifureta said. Are you telling me this human youngster is qualified? The one that was mentioned to be so strong we shouldn't be hostile with? He said while looking at the three. That's so, Arifureta replied. The bear-like demi-human couldn't believe what Arifureta just said. He then stared at Hajime. Since he's the biggest looking, having a black metallic arm made him look like he's the strongest out of the three, but that's just stupid. Out of all the elders, Arifureta is the oldest. As a member of the forest tribe, his lifespan is about 200 years, while on the other hand demi-human's average lifespan was about 100 years. Arifureta being the oldest means he holds much more wisdom compared to the other young elders. Because of this, the other elders beside Arifureta were unable to endure having humans and criminals inside the place. The bear-like demi-human glared over at Hajime before speaking again. Fine, right here, right now, let me test you. Having said that, the demi-human then rushed towards Hajime. Seeing this, Rimuru couldn't help but let out a sigh, knowing what's about to happen next. Because of the suddenness, the others didn't know how to react. Arifureta, who didn't think his fellow elder would instantly attack, was also surprised. In an instant, the bear-like demi-human was in front of Hajime. The man, who was 2.5 meters tall, swung his great arms that was made of lumps of muscles. Even among demi-humans, Bearman tribe were superior in physical and endurance. That great arm was able to break a big tree into two. This destructiveness was the clear distinction that made him the representative of his tribe. Aside from Halia tribe Rimuru and Yu, the others were visioning there'd be nothing left of Hajime except a lump of flesh. The bear-like demi-human was visioning the same thing as the others. Unfortunately, that was far from the truth. One moment everyone expected Hajime to turn into a lump of flesh, the next they were frozen still as they see something beyond their imagination. BAMM. The sound of the impact produced a heavy thud. The fist that was strong enough to cut a big tree in two was stopped and grabbed by Hajime's left hand, stopping it without effort. What a half-hearted fist. Still, there was killing intent, so I am assuming you've prepared yourself then, Hajime said. While saying so, Hajime tightened his grip, resulting in the crackling sound of the bear's fist. Sensing his own crisis, he desperately tried to pull away. Let go, the bear-like demi-human said in agony over his fist being slowly painfully crushed. Even though he desperately tried to pull his arm away, Hajime, who was around half his side, didn't even budge an inch. Actually, during this time, Hajime transmuted TBE metal plate on his shoes into spikes that drilled into the floor to secure his position. The bear-like demi-human who didn't know that, can only feel Hajime as an immovable big tree. Snap. Finally a loud snap was heard coming from the arm. As expected of an elder, there was no scream, but even after breaking his arm, Hajime didn't seem to be done. Hajime finally let go of his arm, but now that Hajime's left arm was free, he launched an attack using it. His back left elbow fired off a rocket boost, greatly increasing the power and speed of the punch launched towards him. Seeing the fist coming towards him, the bear-like demi-human saw his life flashed before him as he expected death to come, but suddenly, boom! A loud shockwave was produced, not from the punch hitting the bear, but from the punch colliding with a hand. The hand that blocked and saved the bear-like demi-human was Rimuru's. Seeing the punch coming towards the bear, Rimuru knew he had to block it, so he did. Seeing Rimuru block the punch, everyone gave off a huge sigh. "That's enough, Hajime," Rimuru said. "Why?" "He attacked with killing intent. Surely he was prepared for this," Hajime replied. "Maybe, but remember, it's better to have them as an ally rather than an enemy. I don't want to needlessly slaughter the demi-humans just because of this," Rimuru said. The other elders stood there in shock, because of what had just happened. One of their fellow elder, who was known as the strongest and best when it came to strength and endurance, was almost killed with little to no effort at all. Then the punch that would have killed their fellow elder was blocked like it was nothing. What he said next made them realize they needed to thread this situation carefully. He had said how it's better to make an ally than to needlessly slaughter the demi-humans. With their strength and power backing them up, they knew they had no reason to lie about needlessly slaughtering the demi-humans. From that they're at least sure about having no ill intentions towards them as their main goal. After Rimuru stopped Hajime, Rimuru then turned towards the elders and said, "Please forgive my brother for breaking his arm, he was the first to attack after all." Here, take this as my apology," he said as he throws a tiny blue water-like liquid on the broken arm. "There, that should heal your arm by tomorrow morning. For now I suggest you rest." Though hesitant, the bear-like demi-human then left the scene to rest and lament over his actions and what had happened. The elders that was left was Zell of the Tigerman tribe, Mao of the Wingedman tribe, Rua of the Foxman tribe, Goose of the Earthman tribe, commonly called Dwarf, and Alfreric of the Forstman tribe. They were seated opposite from Rimuru's group. Expressions on the elders' face except from Alfreric was tensed and stiff. They couldn't help their expressions after seeing one of their fellow elder get knocked out. "So, what do you people plan on doing?" "All we want to do is reach the great tree. We have no intentions in harming anyone, but if left with no choice then we will fight back," Rimuru said. The elders hearing Rimuru's words were happy, hearing they don't plan on harming their people. "We understand, but for our friend who right now is healing, is it possible for you to have a friendly relation with him?" Goose asked. "Wasn't he the one who came at me with killing intent? Aren't you asking a bit too much?" Hajime voiced out. "Why you? He only wanted what was best for his country," Goose said, standing up. "Does that make it okay to attack someone with killing intent without trying to talk first?" Hajime replied. That was, don't you see? I am just a victim here. He's the assailant for attacking me while I just defended myself," Hajime added. "Hajime, that's enough already," Rimuru said. "Goose, I understand how you feel, however he has a sound argument." Having heard Alfreric's word of admonishment, Goose couldn't do anything but sit down. He then fell into a silent sullen. This person certainly has the crest. He's also proven his strength, therefore as the tradition says, he is qualified. The one who said that was Elder Rua of Foxman tribe. After his slit eyes looked at Hajime, he looked at other elders asking what they think. Having received the gaze of Rua the elder of the Foxman tribe, Mao of Wingedman tribe and Zell of Tigerman tribe, though their thoughts was unknown, they still gave their consent. "Rimuru Nagumo and Hajime Nagumo, on behalf of the Elders' Council we admit you two are qualified as per the tradition, therefore we won't oppose you, and as much as possible we'll tell them not to lay a hand on you." Alfreric spoke on behalf of the others. "I am guessing that means not all the demi-humans will listen," Rimuru replied. "As you know, the demi-humans doesn't like humans. Actually you could say they hate humans. That means some might disregard the notice from the elders, especially the Bearman tribe. Since you humiliated their leader, they'll want revenge." Arifureta said. I am guessing you'd like us not to kill those who try to get in our way, Rimuru replied. That's right, with your powers surely you can spare them. We'll try our best, but I can't promise not killing anyone, especially if they persist till the end, you know what I mean, right? Rimuru said. I understand, we thank you for your consideration, he replied. Now that's done, let's go brother, Hajime said as he stands up. Wait. What about the Halia tribe? Goose spoke suddenly, stopping them from leaving. What about them? Hajime asked. As I thought, the execution of the Halia tribe was already in order. Rimuru replied, surprising Hajime. What do you mean, brother? They've already decided to execute the Halia tribe. If they cancel that because of us, it'll diminish the image of the council from the point of the demi-humans, for the elders to let a taboo child and humans inside Fia Belgain. Rimuru replied. The elders along with Hajime and Yu looked at Rimuru with a surprised expression on their face. Why are you guys looking at me like that? Nothing, it's just, we didn't expect you to know so much about situations like this, Arifureta replied. Well, Rimuru is a king. Even though he hasn't ruled Tempest for thousands of years, he will always be their king. The knowledge and wisdom that comes with ruling the most powerful nation comes in hand. Well, anyways, that's the problem, isn't it? Rimuru said. It is as you say, that's our problem, Goose replied while the other elders nod in agreement. Shay and the other rabbitmen started getting nervous of their fate. Rimuru and his group has already got what they wanted. They had no more reason to keep them, this is why they were getting nervous. We can just provide you with a different guide, no need to worry, Rua said, reassuring Hajime. This made the Halia tribe sweat even harder as they also started to shake. Ha ha ha, that's still a problem. You see, we promised them we'd protect them until they guide us to the great tree, because of that we can't let you execute them, Hajime spoke out. Seriously? Goose exclaimed. Since we promised them this, it wouldn't be very cool of us to break our word, right? I'll have to agree with Hajime here, Rimuru said. The elders looked at each other as they think of a solution while the Halia tribe rejoiced in happiness while praising the three from the background. All right. How about this, we'll make the Halia tribe your slave. Written in Fia Belgain's law, those who wander outside and don't return, or those who are enslaved are to be pronounced dead. Those who've already died can't be executed anymore, right? Arifureta suggested. We'll agree to that, thanks for your hospitality and your rational judgment, Rimuru said while the other elders nod while leaving the place where the meeting was held. Shay jumped to Hajime and held on while crying, saying, Hajime saw, N. Thank you very much. Shay was saying, grabbing Hajime very tightly thanks to Rimuru being calm and collected while also being kind and being smart about his words. They got out while being friendly with the elders. Well, except for the bear tribe.